Good afternoon, sober family. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. Why do I introduce myself this way all the time? Well, it's because I want you to know that I'm a recovering alcoholic and you have the same opportunity. Today's daily reflection for 16 December 2020, Partners in Recovery. Let's go. So, today I had an opportunity to pay for somebody's coffee while I was in line, paying for my own. Generally in my past, I would have done that out of some selfish motive for something later. But it was a pure generosity to show that person I appreciated them for what they do. That is the difference between me doing the right things for the right reasons versus doing them for myself. And that's where today's daily reflection, Partners in Recovery, comes into play. Nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. Both you and the new man must walk day by day in the path of spiritual progress. Follow the dictates of a higher power and you will presently live in a new and wonderful world, no matter what your present circumstances. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 89 and 100. Doing the right things for the right reasons. This is my way of controlling my selfishness and my self-centeredness. I realize that my dependency on a higher power clears the way for peace of mind, happiness, and sobriety. I pray each day that I will avoid my previous actions so that I will be helpful to others. Holy crap, that's a bunch. All in that little tiny set of sentences. Doing the right things for the right reasons to control my selfishness and my self-centeredness. That could be wrapped up into a whole lot of generalities. But in my case, as I pointed out as the coffee, I was doing that out of a pure gratitude versus a pure gratification. I don't know. That rambles on in my head pretty nicely, and I think by the spiritual progress that I'm making, I am able to separate the two. Now it says here, nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. That is 100% certain, as well as addicts. I don't want to leave addicts out of this. And why? Because we all are addicted and our brains are controlled through a substance, a toxin, a poison, that if we alleviate that through new behaviors and recovery, through the help of each other, then we will become better people in society and be helpful to others. I've worked with a lot of addicts and I've worked with a lot of alcoholics. The differences are minor. However, the physical symptoms of, drug addiction are a little bit different than alcoholism, but I'm not going to go into all of that because I'm not a doctor, scientist, psychologist, social worker, and all those things that I always tell you guys about. So it's a waste of your time in order to delve that way and blah, 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 and all that. So what do you think? You like the camera view? I don't know. I think it might work. Doing the right things for the right reasons. This is my way of controlling my selfishness and self-centeredness. I realize that my dependency on a higher power clears the way for peace of mind, happiness, and sobriety. Dependency on a higher power, folks. In recovery, we are kind of driving towards no dependency towards alcohol or drugs, right? So why should we be dependent upon a higher power? Well, because what we were trying to do through our own self-will just wasn't working for us. And if you can relate to that, drop your comments below so someone else can get something from that. So being able to believe in something outside of yourself and something beyond you, greater than yourself, and believing that it can restore you to sanity is a huge progress towards internally growing. Because being stagnated by alcoholism and drug addiction is exactly that. We put ourselves in a position to where we are not going to grow at all. Mentally, well, okay, sometimes physically, but physically we're damaging ourselves as well. However, I'm tangenting. That's not a word, I don't think. But, so if we put our dependency into a higher power and we are able to work in a guideline that is good for us and that is good for our spiritual growth and is good for our mental well-being, we will grow in all facets of our recovery. And our sobriety is the number one goal, right? Because we've been talking about this the last couple of days. And the 12th step, as some of you may know, is you have a spiritual awakening and you carry this message to alcoholics, and I'm adding in this case addicts who still suffer from the disease. It's rampant out there. In the last couple of days, I've posed a couple situations on Instagram and Reddit, and I've even published them on Twitter about, I think Facebook too. Anyway, about self-care and about taking care of yourselves during these jacked up times that we're living in right now. And they're so tumultuous and ever changing to the point where we kind of don't have control of what's going to happen tomorrow. And that's a scary thing, folks. And in order to survive that with your mentality intact and your sobriety intact, I have to be able to work with other alcoholics and other addicts like you. And or if you're not and you just tune into the channel to get a little daily motivation, that's awesome also. I work with you guys in order to maintain my own sobriety through all of this. And I urge all of you to reach out to each other and to take care of your mental faculties and to stay focused on your sobriety. And or if you're not there yet, get with somebody who is and kind of mimic what they're doing for now, and then later tweak it to, let me rephrase that one, mold it to meet your spiritual growth and your recovery efforts in order for you to succeed as well. I'm gonna leave this short today simply because this is just a good thought of, partners in recovery, your spirituality, and working with other alcoholics and addicts in order to maintain your sobriety or get there through these trying times that we're living in right now, because it's real easy to get lost in the fact that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Financially, in your jobs, your job security, your homes, if someone's going to eat tomorrow, if you're going to eat today. And by the way, if anybody out there is struggling with getting food and stuff like that, I'm going to put some links down below for you to be able to reach out to some food pantries and things like that are able to help you right now through these kinds of times and in the future if you're down on your luck. Unfortunately, that's part of life, and we all get there somehow, one way or another. It's just a matter of what we do with these things, folks. Optimism builds hope, and thoughts drive consequences. So keep that in mind when you feel emotional about something and it doesn't connect with what's really going on. The way you think about it, you may be able to curve the way that is, so that way your feeling towards it changes as well. And if I got wrapped around that too much, I apologize, folks, but that's just what it is. I'm one sober to another. I'm Wayne. I'm an alcoholic, and guess what, folks? Life's a garden. Dig it. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Have a good day.